Hey guys, looks like it's beer 30. Let's go see what's in the fridge today. Hey guys, thanks for stopping by Gregsbeerreviews today. This should be a big treat. It's a big bottle. So this is Great Divide Brewing's uh, barrel aged in whiskey barrels Hibernation now. Now I just did the regular version of this about a week ago or so, and Rico sent me this one, which is a monster bottle, not a cheap bottle. I'm sure this is probably a 15 to $22 bottle of beer, maybe even more. I'm not even sure. 750 milliliter. It's got the bowl on top of it like a champagne bottle has got. This is a great big beer, and it is a monster sized beer too. This was bottled on, it says 2014 right here on the front, but it was bottled on January 5th of 2015. And says here it's 10.5% alcohol by volume on the label. And Beer Advocate says it's 12.40, and Rate Beer says it's 11.1. So they both got it wrong. So evidently it's changing up from year to year, evidently. That's the only thing I can say to explain why these guys have the wrong ABV written on it. So, and from the commercial description, let me read that. Over 9 months in Stranahan's Colorado whiskey barrel has completely transformed our prized winter seasonal, producing a hibernation that starts with a big whiskey flavor before mellowing out to luscious chocolate, dark fruit, and vanilla. That sounds good already. Each limited edition bottle is individually numbered, making a special addition to your cellar. If you can take only one beer into your cave this winter, we strongly suggest this one. And I don't see a number on the label unless it's up underneath the foil here, and we'll look when we pop that over there and see if there's anything written there. Maybe it's on the cap, I don't know, but I don't see any specific numbers written on the label anywhere. It's got a barcode and it's got a bottle on date, but I don't see anything numbered on there, guys. So we're praying for this style of beer. Cheesy, buttery, brie, good, Havarti Swiss, and glassware, pint backer, tumbler, sniffer, oversized wine glass, and this beer can be sold for a long, long time. 10%, this beer is going to keep for a long time, 5, 10, 15, even 20 years, if you sell her correctly. So, let's stop flapping and start pouring. What do you think? And I don't mind these full tops on them when they come off like this, instead of little bitty pieces like Avery does. I'm not a big fan of that. They make some great beer, but they super glue all that bowl on them bottles, and I'm not a big fan of that. I don't see any numbers on this thing, guys, so I don't know how they're numbering the bottles. Oh well. Nice little hiss from that. And this is a monster bottle, enough to share, which I intend to do. Let's get down the center and generate a little bit of head if we can. Yeah, that's enough. Wow. A bottle of beer still left in that bottle. About a finger and a half of head on that pour. Over into the light is a murky brown. Looks a lot like an old ale. A lot of them are this color. And I would consider this an imperial old ale, being a 10% or so. Like I said, the Hibernation ale was pretty tasty, and being done in whiskey barrels, in 9 months in those whiskey barrels. So evidently they put this in the barrels at the beginning of 2014 somewhere, 9 months. You can do the math there, 12 months in a year, so it's probably done March of 2014, because it's got 2014 on here, and then bottled in January of 2015. So let's see what we got. Just a ever so slight hint of the whiskey, guys. I'm getting more sweet caramel and toffee, hints of some dark fruit in there, but just an ever so slight hint of the whiskey. So I don't know if it's first run whiskey barrels, first time beer had been in there, or if they've reused the barrels. But it doesn't have a big overbearing whiskey smell on the nose, guys. Caramel and toffee, very sweet on the back end, just like a barley wine is. Of course, it's right out of the fridge, so I imagine a lot of those aromas and flavors are going to come out as it warms up. The more I smell it, the more of the whiskey notes that I'm getting. It's opening up a little bit more. Well, let's give it a taste. Got a lot of sweet toffee aromas in it. Cheers. Rico, thanks again, brother, for sending this to me. Looks like a very pricey beer. I do appreciate it, brother. Definitely getting the whiskey on the taste. It's not burning or any of that kind of stuff on the throat, but you're definitely getting the whiskey on the taste. Caramel, toffee, vanilla, coconut, whiskey. Maybe here's some molasses or brown sugar in there. Some dark fruit notes. Dates, raisins, maybe figs, maybe even some plums. That's nice. That's very nice. A great beer to wrap up the evening with. Final beer of the evening for me. Very tasty. Very tasty. Well, let's let it warm up. This is probably going to come out just a little bit more as it comes up to room temperature, right out of the fridge, and pour her a glass and see where it ends up. But I got a feeling this is going to be a really tasty beer when we get to the end of the glass here. So stick around. I'll be right back. Alright guys, I'm back. Got just a little left. Been sipping on about 45 minutes or so. Very tasty. She loved it. I mean, it's she likes these big barrel-aged beers just like I do. The whiskey is there. It's not overpowering. Just enough to let you know that it has been in a barrel. Nice oakiness to the beer. I'm getting vanilla. Hints of a little bit of tobacco. Maybe some coffee. Not much coffee. Went very well with the cigar that I was puffing on while I was sitting outside enjoying this. A nice warm evening here. Got up almost 80 degrees today. Still right pleasant out there, probably in the low 70s. Very nice to sit outside and enjoy a beer like this. And great beer. I mean, the Hibernation beer is a good beer, but the oak from the barrels that they use this with is coming through now that it's warmed up. It's very pleasant. Caramel, toffee, hints of some dark fruit. The oak is there. Some vanilla from the oak is there. A little bit of coconut in there. Not much coconut, just a little bit. Just slight hints. There's a lot of stuff going on. When they barrel age these beers, we get a lot of aspects from that oak that the whiskey's been in that lends a little bit more to the beer. It gets a lot more complex, and the longer you settle this, probably the more complex it's going to get, where those flavors can come together a little bit more. Like I said, let's just put it in the bottle in January, and this is just March. So a great candidate to cellar if you so choose to. Like I said, yeah, and you may want to, because I'm pretty sure this is a fairly pricey beer. Anytime they put a beer in a barrel and it sits there for 9 months, taking up space, and it just, especially a 10%er on top of that, it all comes together, and you can drink it now, or if you've got deep pockets and you want to buy 2 of them, drink one now and sell one for 2, 3, 5 years or so, and see how it changes. See how more complex it gets over time. So let's do the final chug. Now that it's warmed up, the whiskey is definitely coming out on the nose where I wasn't getting it right out of the fridge. Big whiskey notes on it right now, on the aroma. Wonderful smelling beer. Nice, very nice old ale. Very nice. I love the whiskey aspects of these bourbon barrels. And a lot of the different bourbon barrels they use have different characteristics depending on what barrel they use. So the whiskey is definitely coming out now that it's warmed up. So caramel, toffee, maybe a little bit of molasses, some dark fruits, a hint of coffee and tobacco. Not much coffee, I'm going to tell you that. If you're expecting a coffee beer, this is not. Just slight hints of that in there. More of the whiskey and the caramel and toffee and a little bit of dark fruit in there, and the oakiness is coming out more than anything else. So, like I said, if you cellar it for like 5 years, that may change a little bit. It may get more aspects one way or the other. So, a great candidate to cellar. So, Rico, thanks a bunch, brother, for sending this one to me. As far as I'm concerned, guys, I was on the fence between a 9 and a 10. It's got the date on the bottle written right on here. Great Divide always does that. They've been doing it for a long, long time. But I don't see any kind of numbering that says all the bottles are numbered. I don't see that. I mean, I'm not seeing anything written on the bottle anywhere, and it's not on the label anywhere. So it doesn't have the IBUs, but it does have the ABV on it. It's got the date on it. So I'm going to probably go ahead and give it to 9 instead of the 10. I would like to see them put some IBUs on there, but they've got 2014 on there. So if you tell me no, that's a 10 beer, you're crazy. I won't argue with that. But I'm going to give it to 9 on the scale. It is very, very tasty, very delicious beer, and like I said, I'm pretty sure it's a fairly pricey beer on top of that. So once again, Rico, thank you, my brother. I do appreciate you spending your hard-earned money for all the beers that you have sent me, and they've all been pretty damn tasty, and this is no exception. So, if I was putting a rating on this, guys, 9 out of 10, I would probably say it's a 95 or a 96, maybe even a 97 with the information that's on the bottle. But like I said, there's no numbering on it like they say it is. Can't find it on this one. Over to Beer Advocate, they say 88 in the very good range. I think it's better than an 88. I think it's a lot better than an 88. It may be even a 98. So a good 10 points, 8 to 10 points better than what they say it is. And over to Rate Beer. Rate Beer says 97 overall, 96 in the style. That's more what I would agree with, guys. And I tell you all the time, whether I agree with this one, agree with that one, I don't agree with either one of them, or whatever. That's just my 2 cents. That's just my opinion. I do think it's a 95 or a 96 beer, maybe even a 97 with the information that's on the bottle. But if you've had this one from Great Divide, this is their barrel-aged version of their Hibernation Ale, which is an old ale. When the bottle says this is 10%, 10.5%, 10.5%er. So with what the Rate Beer is saying 11.1 and Beer Advocate is saying 12.4, evidently it's changing from year to year. So maybe another reason why they've got 2014 printed on the label, and then the date on the corner here where it was bottled in 2015. Because it does, a lot of times these beers do change from year to year. That's why I harp on them putting a vintage on these style of beers, because it's very hard to brew the same beer a lot of times with the same ABV. Sometimes it just doesn't happen. It could be a couple of points higher, it could be a 10.5, it could be a 10.8, it could be a 10.1. So it's hard to hit that a lot of times. It is for the amateur brewers like me. Maybe the professionals can do a little better job, but from what I'm seeing from both sites here and what's on the bottle, there is some variances in that. So if you've had this one, the barrel-aged version of Great Divide Hibernation Ale, let me know what you think, guys, and come on back. And we're going to take a look in that fridge tomorrow. Getting ready to, we're coming up on that Beer Review 2000. I got a special one here. One of my good subscribers has sent me, and we're going to probably review that one when we get to that. So, won't be long. See you then.